Welcome to Attack of the Show, everyone. Tonight, it's Hollywood or bust.
So load your cameras, polish your sunglasses, and throw your self-worth out the window.
Yeah.
Just like I did.
Yeah, it's Attack of the Show Goes Hollywood, and it's right now.
Pick up on this.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Attack of the Show. I'm Kevin Pereira.
And I'm Olivia Munn. Tonight we're bringing you an Attack of the Show special edition as we prepare for our week-long live coverage of E3, the world's biggest video game event.
Yeah, that's right. We're just 6 days out from the year's biggest news on titles for the PlayStation 3, Nintendo Revolution, even the Xbox 360.
Yes, our live marathon coverage begins May 9th at 6 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, but first, today's show is all about Tinseltown. We're going to kick off our Hollywood special edition with producer Joel Silver, who took us behind the scenes of his controversial movie, V for Vendetta. Joel Silver knows how to make an impact at the box office. The super producer behind Lethal Weapon, Die Hard, and a little something called The Matrix Trilogy. Yeah, he just recently blew our minds with V for Vendetta. The story is a volatile mix of political tyranny and violent revolution. And even though it was written as a graphic novel in 1982, it proved to be just as potent in 2006.
People should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people.
Attack of the Show got a chance to dig a little deeper into the controversy surrounding the movie with the man himself.
It's a mythical time. I mean, yeah, the buildings are the same in England, and the accent is the same, but it's a different world.
If our own government was responsible for the deaths of 100,000 people.
It's a totalitarian regime that really has never existed in England, so the time is different. So it's not really a terrorist per se. He's a revolutionary. He's trying to bring down the government.
Oh, not tonight. Those who are responsible will be held accountable.
When V creator Alan Moore publicly demanded that his name be removed from the film, rumors circulated that the production might be in some trouble.
We took his name off. It was a shame, but we did. I thought he would be supportive of this, but he wasn't. It's very close to the story. It begins the same way, it ends the same way, the middle is the same in many ways. He just has a feeling he does not want to be involved in any movies based on his material.
The film's climax hinges on a subway train full of explosives, an element that forced the film to delay its release following the 2005 London subway bombings.
It was a horrific act, the subway bombings, but it doesn't really affect the movie per se. When the subway bombings occurred, they were a terrorist act against civilians. It's a different situation. Yes, there is a subway and it has bombs on it, but it's designed a delivery system to destroy an empty building.
You have one chance. You must tell us the whereabouts of Codename V.
In some ways, it feels better now than it did then.
But changes did have to be made, most notably to the graphic novel's conclusion, in which the character of Evie, played by Natalie Portman in the film, dons V's mask and carries on his legacy.
There was a lot more great stuff in the comic book that we had to lose. We focused on the Evie-V relationship. That's what the core of the comic book was anyway, but we made that the core of the story. We felt that the perfect ending was this ending, which is essentially V says to her, the new world tomorrow that will exist is a world that he can't be part of. In the story we can play that she does become V, but it seemed really effective to end it how we ended it.
Kill him.
I think it's a good time to try to make a movie like this. I think people are intrigued by it and people seem to be enjoying it. The subject matter is fresh and original, which I think is what we should be doing as filmmakers.
V for Vendetta, a thought-provoking film that raised questions about government, personal responsibility, and terrorism.
Yeah, it also raised the question, who knew Natalie Portman would still look hot with a shaved head, huh?
Do you think I'd look hot with a shaved head?
I'd hit it.
I don't know how to take that, Kevin.
It's a compliment.
Okay, great. Well, after V for Vendetta wrapped, everyone went on to find other work. Some went to other movies, others wound up selling cars.
So it looks like you're still on the fence, which is fine, no pressure. So what I'm going to do now is turn you over to one of our best sales guys. V This is, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jason and Erica.
My name's Mark.
V?
Leave us.
All right, great. Looks like you're in great hands. Take care.
Excuse me? What? What's going on here?
How poor are they who have not patience? What wound did ever heal but by degrees?
That's Shakespeare.
Well, well, well. How might I be of service on this fine day?
Shakespeare?
We're looking for a truck for my flower business.
Ever so noble a cause as this. The most important thing in life is to hold fast to your convictions and not be swayed by eloquent speech and flashy attire. Erica, Jason,
Mark.
I have something to show you. Behold, the Volkswagen Jetta.
A Jetta? Didn't you hear her? We said we're looking for a truck.
Would you like to take it for a spin?
Sure.
No.
I like how it handles.
More rim and less tire provide better cornering and more accurate turns. Do you like music, Erica?
Are these CD controls on the steering wheel?
Are you kidding me?
Your hearts are strong, and your credit is excellent. This is very good news. Sign here, here, and here. Now, you are truly free. Go to the door.
As always, V, nicely done.
Holy crap! Why'd you do that?
They did not hold to their convictions. So, Poker Thursday?
You know, say what you will about used car salesmen, but at least V just didn't go on unemployment like everybody else in this town.
Like you? In
Couple
about
inches.
right after we shoot the show.
Ouch. Coming up after the break, a look at the biggest, drunkest Big Lebowski fan festival known to man.
Plus, the most important Star Wars fan film ever made. Coming up next.
Attack of the show, baby. Attack.
Welcome back to Attack of the Show's very special Hollywood edition.
Ooh, here at Attack of the Show, we're responsible journalists. We're only drunk at events when drinking is actually required.
True.
Yes, like it was for the Big Lebowski Festival.
There's bowling, there's beverages, White Russians, oat sodas, trivia contest, costume contest. There's some really good costumes tonight. Meet and greet the actors, and then we show the movie.
Now, I gotta be honest with you. I've seen The Big Lebowski a couple years ago. Thought it was pretty funny, and then I moved on with my life. Well, it turns out a lot of people haven't quite got there yet. Whatever tempted you to come up with this idea?
Really, man, we were really bored at a tattoo convention. So we started going through some lines from the movie. And we were like, man, if they can put on this lame-ass tattoo convention, we should be able to have a Lebowski convention.
So how is business?
Very, very good.
These people drink a lot?
They're luscious.
You are the inspiration for the movie, The Big Lebowski, are you not?
In a manner of speaking, yeah. Joel and Ethan had hung out with me for a while. Thought they might want to make a movie with a bunch of friends that like to hang out. People like to look for ways to get together, and sometimes they call it Woodstock, and sometimes it's, Lilith Fair, and sometimes it's...
You put a lot of effort into this. This is some quality work here.
Thank you very much. I'm unemployed, so I have a lot of free time. Yeah.
It shows. You are the Big Lebowski.
I am the Big Lebowski, yeah.
Did you think when you were making this movie that a couple years down the road you're going to be at a Lebowski Fest?
Well, you never know,
I'm the guy who owns the Corvette. When Walter goes to Plan B and starts smashing the Corvette, and then I come out, hey, that's my baby! What are you doing, man? I just bought the car last week! I kill you, you! And so on.
We're going to have to bleep that.
Ooh, fun fact. Over 16 gallons of White Russians were consumed during the production of that report.
I know. I'm still feeling it. Actually, we love the Lebowski Fest so much that we managed to track down the guy who inspired the character of the dude and invited him onto our show. It's Mr. Jeff Dowd, and he's coming at you right now.
The dude.
How you doing? Good
Welcome
to see you.
to the show.
Been seeing you since 2 in the morning at the Lebowski Festival.
That's right. You had a White Russian and your arm draped over me, and I was trying to conduct a professional interview, but I don't know if it went off. Like
there was a beverage involved.
Yeah. So now, tell me about how this all started. How do you get a movie character based on your...
Well, I met actually through Robert Redford, and introduced me to an investor of Joel and Ethan Coen's first movie, Blood Simple. And pretty soon after that, they showed up on my doorstep and showed me the movie, and I helped them with the marketing and distribution. And
so you're a pretty well-connected guy. Robert Redford did the introduction?
Just happened to be sitting on his lawn.
Not bad.
No, just like, it was the first year of Sundance, actually.
Oh, okay.
And that's how it all came about.
How did you make sure that Jeff Bridges got the character right? Did you do anything with that? Did you say, maybe you're not getting the accent together, or was it
well,
his
I mean, the
take
body
on...
language. I mean, I think I think you got it. If you hand me the White Russian, and the body language is all me. The rest is Joel and Ethan, who are brilliant writers.
The movie itself, popular movie, but it's more of a cult hit.
It's I met a family at one of these Lebowski festivals, 3 generations of Latinos. The grandkids, the parents, and the grandparents. They watched the movie at Christmas time instead of It's a Wonderful Life. I think that's heretical. I mean, go figure. But
that's awesome.
But they know they're going to have fun doing it.
Yeah. Now you're a movie producer, but you're also an author.
Well, I'm almost done with my book, The Dude Abides, which is it's basically a lot of classic tales that we've been telling for years. I happen to be in the right place at the right time. Around a lot of people who changed a little bit of cultural history or political history, whether it's being 17 years old with the Living Theater and the Rolling Stones in Europe, or last year with Neil Young, who's, by the way, new album, Prairie Wind, if you haven't heard it, great.
Yeah.
I was in Nashville when Jonathan Demme was shooting the film with Neil about a month ago. But it's a lot of stories about people and their friends getting together and saying, wait a second, we don't want to die of terminal boredom. Maybe we can change a little bit of the world here. And that's, maybe that's the way to go.
Oh, I tell you, that is the life, Olivia. Sitting around, inspiring movies, drinking White Russians. Man.
Kev, have you ever read any of our forum fan fiction?
You're right. Actually, you're right. I'd rather not inspire anything.
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah. Now, still ahead, we'll meet the director of the best Star Wars fan film ever. Seriously, it's way better than yours.
And later, we'll find out what movies the hipsters like from the South by Southwest Festival.
It's all coming up when Attack of the Show continues.
Don't do that.
But it's coming up. Things are circular and cycling. Hey, welcome back to Attack of the Show's Hollywood Special Edition.
Enjoy our tribute to Tinseltown while we gear up for our week-long live coverage of E3, the world's biggest video game event.
It really is. We're just 6 days out from the year's biggest news on all the next-gen games that you're going to want to have.
Our live marathon coverage begins May 9th at 6 p.m. Eastern. Fan films can be a mixed bag sometimes. You'll get something that's clearly shot in the director's parents' basement. Other times you'll get a cops parody with stormtroopers, and it will rock your world.
Tell me about the story behind Troops. Did you know it was going to take kind of that online community by storm?
Not really. When we first started it, we were trying to get in on the black market videotape curve that Trey Parker and Matt Stone had started with South Park. Mm-hmm. So my friends were all watching the tape, said, well, we can do that.
Right, that's not hard.
That's not that hard. And I had some very good friends who do some excellent special effects on Babylon 5. Yes. And so we got together and we did this. And then actually Attack of the Show correspondent Chris Score, he saw it at the San Diego Comic-Con and said, there are some guys at theforce.net that would love to put it online.
Oh, sure. Oh, so you originally online distribution?
No.
Not in your head.
I basically decided to do that because I wanted to stop people from pirating it. And I thought that, well, if they could get it for free.
Now, Troops stands the test of time. Some still, I'm one of those, firmly believe it's one of the best fan films ever made.
Thanks.
Do you have that cult status, amongst the Star Wars fans still to this day?
Oh yeah, no, it's nice. I mean, if I go to a convention and stuff, there's people. Oh my God.
Sure. Well, and you're going to conventions. I'm assuming you're rolling up in a stretched H2 limo, because clearly, thanks to Troops, you've made how many billions of dollars?
Absolutely none.
Well, it has. I'm hoping it's furthered your career a little bit. I mean, that's a good calling card.
No. It was an excellent calling card. I became Flavor of the Month in Hollywood for at least 3 months.
Congrats on that.
That spawned TV stuff. I did a couple of pilots. I'm still working right now in television today, and I have also comic books coming out.
Now, so tell me a little bit about that. You're writing for Dark Horse now?
Yeah, I'm writing for Dark Horse Comics. I did some shorts for them that they really liked, and they offered me a series, and I created it called Tag and Bink Are Dead, which had some success. And then just 3 months ago, they said, hey, we want to bring them back out again. Do you have any more stories? And so I do, and they're coming out in March and April, and it's The Return of Tag and Bink Special Edition, and Tag and Bink Episode 1, Revenge of the Clone Menace.
Very nice. Well, Kevin, thank you again for coming by. We sincerely appreciate it.
Yeah, it just goes to show you with a good idea, you can get anything done.
Totally. But it also helps if you know a bunch of dudes who have stormtroopers outfits. It goes a little ways.
You have one, don't you?
2.
That's hot.
We're kind of in a documentary mood right now, to be honest, but instead of firing up PBS and the National Geographic Channel, instead, we're going to bring back the director of the one and only documentary on Superman in a single bound.
Director Ross Morasso is here to make sure we all know about In a Single Bound. Ross, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
You say up and down on your website that this is the only Superman documentary, the first and only. Is it really?
Well, yeah, that's my big taunt, really, to the industry, saying first and only.
You weren't expecting a hardball, by the way. I noticed that.
Do a Google search and tell me what you find on Superman documentaries. You get absolutely 0. Now, I do say in the fine print in my on my webpage that, clearly 60 Minutes and other shows have done, like, extended segments on it. He had his 50th anniversary. They did, like, this piece on it. And then these things just kind of fade into obscurity. And there's really nothing available that you can get. And just as a fan, I thought, I can't believe that people would make this stuff and then just never do anything with it. So I'm hoping that, if enough people find out about this and everyone who has done stuff in the past will say, well, wait a minute.
Here's mine. Here's mine.
So as of today, I think I'm the only thing you can find on the internet, but you can maybe time that by your stopwatch, if enough people.
I was watching the documentary, you started talking about the origin of Superman. I figured this must have been a creative think tank at a comic book company. Clearly they did their focus testing and their marketing to figure out what would appeal most to comic book readers. Not exactly the origin behind Superman, is it?
Yeah, 2 guys from Cleveland, Ohio, although Siegel and Schuster were born in Canada. But they basically were, born and bred here. I mean, they were raised here. And they just thought it up when they were 17 years old. And they tried to sell it forever and ever, and nobody wanted it at all. And then they finally, got it out into the comic book world, and everyone just freaked out over it. Basically, they signed over the rights, on on the back of their paychecks, and they never saw anything. SupermanDoc.com. I put up my own website. You can watch it online for just like $1.50.
Literally $1.50. Yeah, it's like $1.50. No, it's $1.50, folks.
Comic books are like $3. I thought, so let's have half of that, and you can also grab the DVD if you want. But I just really wanted a way now for it to be on the internet so fans can take a look at it before, as I'm hoping down the road, something additional happens with it. But I wanted it to be out there for fans to see it sort of the way I saw it as a fan.
Ross, I hope all Superman fans check it out. Again, $1.50 or get the DVD. Either way, they can't go wrong. Thanks for coming by, Ross. We appreciate it.
Look, Kev, okay, up in the sky, wait, it's a bird. It's a plane?
Olivia, that's studio lighting grid.
Oh, I've just been here too long.
Maybe you need to get out. Maybe you want to go see the Superman movie?
Yeah.
You excited for it?
I'm so excited for it.
Yeah?
Well, I'm okay about it.
Oh, come on. It's going to be good. In fact, if you haven't been checking it out, Blue Tights, it's their little behind-the-scenes website. They've got all sort of like video blog type updates from behind-the-scenes stuff. Get a shot of Ralph in the old purple tights, blue tights.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about his performance in it. I don't know if it's going to be actually that good. Tell you the truth.
All right, we'll see.
I'm concerned. We'll see.
We'll see. Now, what do you get when a bunch of grown men who dress up like medieval soldiers and march into battle for the glory of their fictional homelands? What do you do when you hang out with those guys? Well, you grab a camera and you film it. That's what you do.
Darkon is a live-action role-playing game, right?
Yeah, it's a live-action role-playing game based in the world of Lord of the Rings and in medieval fantasy. And what really makes Darkon unique in LARP games is the fact that they have, in addition to the hard-hitting, full-contact sport element of the game, they also have a very well-integrated map land system. So they're actually sometimes fighting over virtual land on a map.
For those at home who have heard of live-action role-playing, they've probably seen the video of the guy throwing wadded pieces of binder paper.
Right,
yelling.
which Darkonians really They really resent that because it's a...
Now, do they resent that those guys are live-action role-playing in that way, or do they resent that comparison?
I think they resent that comparison because it is a full contact sport.
Right.
At least Darkon, not all of them, but and yeah, magic is involved, but. You get hit, man. If you get shield bashed, that's serious. It's like getting nailed by a linebacker. You can get hit by a 220-pound dude named Hagar, can just, bowl you over, and it's like, that's a real sport, and there's real skill involved.
And you have to watch out for the soccer nets as well,
Yeah, you have to watch out for the soccer nets.
So now, why profile these guys? Like, did you expect that people who weren't into LARPing would enjoy seeing that, or were you making this film for people who do like LARPing?
Both. I would hope that more people who don't LARP go out there and play Darkon, because, frankly, it's just awesome. It's really fun, and, I guess in terms of subject matter, how could you not be totally enamored with it? It's absolutely bizarre and cool. And when you get into it, it can, in fact, be really intense, Right. And in my opinion, it's kind of an evolution of an EverQuest game. You're out there interacting with flesh and blood. You're out there talking to someone, and if you hurt someone's feelings or if you go to war with someone, that's real.
Andrew, thank you very much for coming on. We appreciate it.
Great. Thanks a lot, man.
All right. Make sure you look out for Darkon and check darkonthemovie.com for updates. It's easy to look and perhaps laugh at grown men in medieval suits hitting each other with foam swords, but I think there's something kind of cool about it.
Yeah, you would.
I know.
Wouldn't you?
You're right, I would. Someday there will probably be an Attack of the Show Nation, though. They're all going to fight along with the rest of the Darkon players. It'll be awesome.
Or probably still sleeping while the rest of the guys are slaughtering each other, Kevin.
You know our crowd. Yeah.
There's always two sides, just so you know. All right, stick around because of our Attack of the Show tour of Hollywood ain't over yet. After the break, we'll hit up the films that debuted at the South by Southwest Festival.
And later we'll find out what the United States would be like if the Confederacy won the Civil War.
That's thought-provoking programming you don't want to miss, so stay tuned.
Attack of the Show, baby. Attack.
Welcome back to Attack of the Show Goes Hollywood, an hour-long tour of the best film and television segments we've ever accidentally done.
Yes, you look pretty, by the way.
Thank you.
Coming up in this half hour, we'll visit the Slam Dance Film Festival.
And Trauma Films' Lloyd Kaufman spews vitriol and fake blood all over our nice red couch. Now, Austin's South by Southwest Festival is one of the biggest independent music festivals in the world, but they also debut some pretty amazing films there, too. We busted through all the band groupies and blog reviewers to get you the best movies of South by Southwest.
Welcome to Austin, Texas, home of the South by Southwest Film Festival. We're looking at a lot of cool movies, everything from mock murder mysteries to headbangers to role players. So join me, won't you? There were hundreds of films being shown at South by Southwest, but here's a few that stood out from the crowd. First on our list is Metal, a headbanger's journey. It's the scientific look at a metalhead and his experience in the crazy world of heavy metal.
It's a documentary that follows me as a metal fan and an anthropologist on a road journey to basically understand why it is that metal tends to polarize people.
It's a form of music that's important to so many people around the world, and we just want to be the first to kind of give it its props.
We have a lot of musicians throughout metal's history who appear in the film, from Tony Iommi of Black Sabbath, Bruce Dickinson of Iron Maiden, and then even some of the newer bands. We have distribution in over 20 countries, so it's going to be released theatrically in most of those countries, and then it will go to DVD. It's a double DVD release.
The next film we looked at is The Cassidy Kids, a dark mockumentary which chronicles the lives of young super sleuths.
Rebecca's on TV! Oh my God!
The film is about a group of kids in 1980 who solve a murder, and the TV show that's based on their exploits. And it's sort of based on, this traumatic experience that happened to these real kids. Well, 25 years later, the show is being released on DVD box set. One of the special features on the box set is a documentary about the real kids who solve the real mystery, what's their story. But what we find out through the interviews is that the mystery that they thought they solved begins to unravel, like maybe they didn't solve it right.
Why are you being such a moody dude?
We had a really great showing. We had an awesome screening at the Paramount Theater two days ago. I'm just going to try to get the movie into some other festivals and try to get a theatrical release for the film.
You don't even care that I saved your life.
And what film festival would be complete without a trip into the world of live-action role-playing with Darkon?
Basically, in the simplest terms, it's Braveheart mixed with slice of life America.
Well, it's a LARP, a live action role-playing game. People make up characters, and then there are adventures or battles that they fight out on the field with foam-padded weapons.
Andrew Neil and Luke Myers made a movie about a game that I love, and chronicles our lives on and off the field.
It is very human to create personas, and that's what we do. We present numerous personas even in a given day. We're role-playing all the time. People are just really psyched to see it. The whole point of making a movie is to communicate, so we really feel like we've done that, and that's just really gratifying.
Lastly is the twisted take on horror filmmakers and how scary they really are with Sandman.
Sandman is a sort of movie about voyeurism and underground horror. I started meeting these people because I had a horror movie that played Sundance a couple years back, and guys started contacting me, and they wanted to show me the movies that they were making. And it was usually, fairly ridiculous stuff of raspberry blood and tits for no reason. Every once in a while you'd see somebody who couldn't afford special effects, so they'd honestly hurt somebody. I've been having people come up and sort of blame me for a lack of sleep, which is about as best as I could hope for. South by Southwest, it's been awesome. I mean, the audiences here are fantastic.
That's all we got from the South by Southwest Film Festival. Join me next year when we look at some other movies.
South by Southwest, Kevin, is of course a reference to Alfred Hitchcock's film, The North by Northwest.
Oh, yeah, I know.
No, in it, Cary Grant plays an advertising executive mistaken for a government agent.
No, I get it. I know. I've seen the movie.
No. He gets mixed up with a gang of international spies and has to fight for his life on top of Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, and it's got the great crop duster scene. We've seen the film, Olivia.
Eva Marie Saint co-stars.
It's true. I'm sorry. You should just go now. Just read.
Okay. Sometimes when you're learning about a grisly band of serial killers, you just can't help but think to yourself, man, I wonder what this would look like in claymation. So here's a director of Live Freaky, a claymation movie about the Manson family.
John, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you.
Thanks for coming on, man.
I know you've been busy with your bedazzler, but I got something. It's a little blinding, so I got a little shirt there.
It's not metrosexual enough.
Now, do you want to put it on
John,
right now?
I'm sorry. I can't. It would ruin my makeup.
It's weird. You never take your shirt off in the show.
Huh? No. There's a reason for it. Pants, not a problem, but the ladies have to pay a little extra for the torso.
I got you.
That's all I have to work with, I want to talk about the movie real quick.
Yes, sir.
Live Freaky, Die Freaky. You got the Green Day, the Blink-182, Good Charlotte. They're all doing voices.
They are.
Now, what about Billy Joe made you think, okay, he's perfect for Manson?
Oh, why? Because everyone said no, he wouldn't be, because he's the nicest guy in the whole world.
Really?
But when I see
that's not punk rock.
Well, he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. But when I saw him, every time he's on he's doing his little shows, man, that kid can whip up those kids to attack the White House at any given time.
Sure.
And I said, he's my Charlie, you know? And so we went down to Oakland, and he did it in one take, everything. He never even heard what Charles Manson's voice even sound like.
Sure.
That's why it's a little Al Sharpton looking sound.
In the grand scheme of the movie, I don't think that's going to make or break it.
I don't know. Those kids, they need perfection.
Now, did they do any music in the film as well?
Yeah, he sings the songs, and we have Tim Armstrong from Rancid wrote some songs, and Roddy Bottom, and Jane Whelan from the Go-Go's. It's all it's a musical. It's murder, music, and mayhem.
Now, why is stop motion musical about Manson? Is he socially relevant today still to the kids, or?
Yeah, I mean, I hope so, because it's going to happen again. The whole thing about it is that this person goes and took cheerleaders, the girls next door, and made them into these killers. And it's just like the whole film is about thinking for yourself.
Okay.
And it's a little warning, don't follow everyone.
Gotcha. Just follow the prompter.
Exactly.
Just read what they write for you.
Exactly.
Now, see, but if you wanted
Dianetics.
If you wanted crazy cult or religion, we could have gone Scientology. That seems like it's a little more.
I value my home too much and my family.
I gotcha.
I mean, I can kick Tom Cruise's ass, but the aliens behind him, I can't.
And the lawyers as well.
Oh,
gotta watch out for those guys.
Yeah, gotta watch out.
Now, the movie, with all due respect, a little on the twisted side.
You think?
Yeah, it's a little out there. Did your parents ever test you as a kid? Because it's out there.
Yeah.
Or were you concerned that it might be a little too off-putting? I mean, some of this stuff, I'm surprised you even got puppets to do it.
I know, it's crazy. They kind of looked at me and go, huh? Going, their little penises, with this kind of flicker. It's just clay. They're just puppets. I don't know what the problem is.
Did you have to go with puppets because some of the stuff you couldn't get actors to do?
Are you kidding? Yeah, Billy Joe, can you do that for me? No, really? Suck my...
Yeah.
Okay, I say that? I'm sorry. Anyways.
Exactly.
No, and that's why it's banned everywhere. They can't find it. Because I thought when I was doing this movie, It turned into the 1950s when I got of the studio. It was all black and white and everything, and there was Beaver Cleaver and all that, and George Bush. Hey, cool. Yeah. What happened to our rights?
See, I thought this was perfect for the Walmart blockbuster crowd.
Passion of the Christ, am I right? Same movie. My movie is this, and that movie is there. It's a yin and the yang.
The movie is, it's about Manson, but it's kind of about him being discovered in another universe or later on in the history of time.
Yeah, I mean, there's a book, Helter Skelter, which is about the Manson killings, and someone finds it in the future, and there's no Bible or anything, and so they find it, and he misinterprets Helter Skelter as the new Bible.
Sure.
Like they did with the Bible itself.
Well, we just did a story on the Oscars, and they were saying, you know, these movies aren't going to be $50 bazillion in the near future. Your movie broke the mold. This is a $25 million puppet right here. This is where the budget goes. This is Charlie, right?
Yes, Charles.
Now, is this an actual prop from the movie?
It's the only one we had. It's the only puppet we had. I was watching like these documentaries on Nightmare Before Christmas with Tim Burton. You know, he'd just fly in from San Francisco and like look at all the millions of puppets he had, and I'm like, okay, here it is.
We've got one. There better not be any burning scenes or...
There, yeah. You can see his hand even fell off.
It's not in the pocket. There really is no hand, folks.
Next up on the horizon, a Zodiac Killer buddy film done with marionettes.
You just made that up, didn't you?
Kevin, it's in the prompter. I don't make up anything. I just read.
That's right, I forgot.
That's what I do. I just read.
Puppets. Look at us. Pull our strings. We dance.
All right, when we come back, our tour bus makes a stop at the Slam Dance Film Festival and then picks up Maverick filmmaker and president of Troma Films, Lloyd Kaufman.
Yeah, something's probably going to get broken or bloodied.
Attack of the show, baby. Attack.
Welcome back to Attack of the Show's special Hollywood edition.
Yes, it's a widescreen, full-color salute to the world's entertainment capital with a cast of thousands.
Yeah, most of that is not true, Olivia.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you do when you want to take your film to Sundance, but people are all like, no way, that's so Hollywood, and you're all like, nah, it's still part of the very vital film distribution process, and they're like, yeah, whatever. Well, you go to the Slam Dance Film Festival instead.
Here in Park City, Utah, there's a film festival that happens around this time of year called Sundance. You've probably heard of it. But there's another film festival happening here at the exact same time called Slam Dance.
Slam Dance award-winning writer-director Greg Bishop's supernatural thriller, The Other Side, took us to hell and back.
So The Other Side, that conjures up images of heaven and hell, and I'm on the right track here?
You're on the right track. It's a supernatural thriller about a guy who escapes from hell to find the person who killed him. There are scary moments in it, but it's a supernatural action thriller.
The Sasquatch Dumpling Gang made a strong case for this year's Napoleon Dynamite.
The movie is about a group of kids who find some Sasquatch footprints in the woods and leads them on an adventure.
Now, are you one of these, like, Bigfoot believer people? Is that why you made this movie?
I'm not, but there are a lot of Bigfoot believers out there, and I think they'll enjoy the film.
How'd you get that welt on your leg, dude?
Some jerk shot me with paintballs.
That's awesome.
Sea monsters and stop-motion animation made up the H.P. Lovecraft-inspired silent gem, The Call of Cthulhu.
So tell me a little bit about H.P. Lovecraft.
He's ranked along with Edgar Allan Poe as one of the fathers of Gothic horror fiction. The Call of Cthulhu is his most famous story by far.
Okay.
But it's never been adapted to film before because it's a huge, sprawling story that involves, dozens and dozens of characters and multiple locations and time periods and a gigantic monster that comes up out of the sea. We use a lot of cardboard and glitter and old-fashioned theater tricks to get things to look the way we wanted them to look without spending a lot of money on them.
Sundance, now Slam Dance. Up next in Park City, pole dance. All right, you know what? I'm gonna go to the bar.
The Slam Dance Film Festival. Young movies go in and whore themselves out, then emerge as beautiful adults. Like Kevin.
It's like cable television. Yeah. Oh, Hollywood, you're a careful, gentle lover, unlike E3, which comes at you like a tidal wave with more video game news than you can shake an Onimusha controller at. It's me shaking the controller.
I noticed, but indicating.
Yeah, thank you. For breaking E3 news, turn to E3Insider.com, everyone.
That's the official website of E3.
And E3Insider.com is your source for news, demos, even Joel Gordine's unique fan cam coverage of the events as they unfold.
Watch it live or download the podcast of all your E3 news at E3Insider.com.
Now, if you ever wondered what the country would be like if the Confederate States actually won the Civil War, then put down your shotgun and Jim Beam and pay attention. They've got the director of a movie that's going to give you a glimpse.
Kevin, welcome to the show,
Hey,
and thank you for making me more uncomfortable than I've ever been on the couch.
I try my best.
I love it. Even during the clip, you look at me like, that's just wrong. And I'm like, yes, it is just wrong. But it's weird. I mean, the movie itself is kind of like a Ken Burns-style documentary.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about the message you were trying to send, but why in that form?
Well, I wanted it to be real for the audience, you know. I think that's one of the problems we still have today with slavery a bit is, you know, we're so far removed from it. And so I wanted to use the Burns style to make people really, you know, embrace the whole reality of it and then come in and give them some history they probably don't know much about.
Right, so it's like, it's understand this was the type of mentality that might have existed. I know it seems crazy, but hey, it was there.
It's all true. Everything in the movie is true in one form or another. Even though it's a fake history, it's all based on reality.
Now, some historians will say that, well, slavery was a broken system anyways. It was going the way of the dodo. But again, that's not the message you're trying to say. It's not. It could be around. It's like, listen to what it would be like if we had that same mentality. Right?
Exactly. I mean, one of the things I try to do in the film is I try to make it as much as a what is as much as a what if. So the choices come from our real lives and our real history. So, you know, I always tell people, well, you know, we couldn't get, you know, we couldn't eat a hamburger at Woolworths until 1963. Right. So you know, in South Africa,
I didn't know they even served hamburgers at Woolworths. By the way, this is fascinating.
It was well, you know, a little more history for you, brother. but yeah, it's based on also things like, you know, the fact that South Africa went into the 1980s. So those are the realities that influence and inform our film.
Now, the film is all about this alternate history, and in it you've got like Jefferson Davis is this hero, Lincoln's in exile. Now, is this based on fact, as you say, or is this just you saying, well, what would it be like? Let's have some fun. Let's put him in a field in blackface and see what happens.
Well, you know, we in the film it's a clip from a D.W. Griffith film. Right. So I based it all on the way Griffith made his films. He used, you know, white folks in blackface. Right. We used men to play women in blackface, and then as well, you know, Jefferson Davis was caught in a dress.
Right, a lot of people don't know that.
Legend has it he was caught in a dress and in disguise, you know, trying to get away. And so we have Lincoln in blackface. So it's you know, we just reverse history in that sense. It's a good example of why I made the film, that there's this unfinished business, that a white person who has the same reasons to make the film that I have, that he wants to enlighten people, open up the debate issue, get people talking about the reality of slavery, you know, that a white person would be jumped on for this. Right. And so it lets us know that we still got a little distance to go.
Well, I hope we close the gap, and I thank you for putting this movie together, and hopefully it sparks some dialogue for us, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks for coming on, man. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, brother.
Kevin, was that an uncomfortable interview to do?
No, not at all. I was actually honestly worried that it would be, but Kevin Wilmot had a very disarming sense of humor about the entire issue and really put me at ease. And plus, he said it best himself. Like, I couldn't have made the film. You know, it's a film for him to make. I'm just some white guy. And
You're white?
CSA, Confederate States of America, a movie that is guaranteed to enrage high school history teachers for years to come.
Still better than last year's War of 1812. Kick the Canucks. It's a fiasco.
It was. I'm sorry. Up next, we'll chat with Troma Films president Lloyd Kaufman. We'll get the latest on his novelization of The Toxic Avenger when Attack of the Show continues. I know I'm on the outside, I'm white. So it's on the inside that counts. Welcome back to Attack of the Show's Hollywood Special Edition.
Enjoy our tribute to Tinseltown while we gear up for our week-long live coverage of E3, the world's biggest video game event.
That's right. We're just 6 days away from the year's biggest news on titles for the PlayStation 3, Nintendo Revolution, and the Xbox 360.
Our live marathon coverage begins May 9th at 6 p.m. Eastern.
Now, we love the president of Troma Films, Lloyd Kaufman. We never know what he's going to do or what he's going to say, but I think that's why we love him, and that's why we keep having him back no matter how many times he throws us down the stairs. Please welcome the founder and president of Troma Studios, Lloyd Kaufman. Lloyd, thanks for coming back on the show.
Nice to meet you.
You and Chris Gore were getting Indian wrestling in the green room earlier, but
actually, Roger Ebert put 3 thumbs up Chris Gore.
Wow, that's a phenomenal rating.
Unbelievable, yes.
I want to talk about the birthday of one of your favorite characters, at least one of my favorite characters. He's 21 now.
Adolf Hitler. Yeah. Oh no.
The
Toxic Avenger.
Yeah, okay.
The Toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
That's right.
Next time I'll just say the name. It's fine. Toxic Avenger's 21. This is a big deal. He's getting another DVD coming out now.
He's getting 2.
Wow. Well, now what are the details?
Well, it's the Tromorphic widescreen Toxic Avenger double disc DVD 21st anniversary, and Toxies features an interview with Michael Herz. Michael Herz, the founder of Troma Entertainment, the Eminence Grise.
And he's typically a little camera shy, right? So this is a big deal for fans.
He put the grease in eminent grise, if you know what I mean.
I actually don't, but you don't need to follow that up with an explanation.
Does NAMBLA mean anything to you?
It does. It does. Bring back fond childhood memories.
Toxic Avenger, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, the second disc, this is all filled with fan creative stuff. Fan-created stuff. Now, does that mean it's horrible, or does that mean it's the good quality?
No, it's great. Using the internet, our fans were asked to tell us about the first time you saw the Toxic Avenger. How did you feel? How old were you? Blah, blah, blah. And they filmed themselves and send it in.
And what about the poultry guys? You talked a little bit about it last time you were here, but can you give us some more info this time?
Well, the next film that I will personally be directing will be a sort of a satire on the fast food business. A casino owner's ancient graveyard will be desecrated by some chicken fast food restaurant being built there, and the the casino owner's spirits go into the chickens, hence the zombies and Poultrygeist. We may film in the what do you say, MAJ? Mojave Desert, Mojave.
I got the Cans
It's a lot of sand and windmills and mountains, and it's very hot.
Very nice.
We may film there.
But Lloyd, thank you again for stopping by.
The Tromove Desert.
We appreciate it. I don't know how Chris Gore feels, but we certainly appreciate it.
Chris Gore, when he almost became president. He got he was one electoral vote, right?
He demanded a recount too, but no one listened.
Well, he's the best. He's the best. I do whatever he says, and I'll tell you that Robert Rodriguez, the Oscar race is on. He's batted a home run with Sin City and Troma. Very similar. It's amazing.
That.
When I downloaded that movie off of the internet.
Lloyd, thank you for stopping by. Lloyd, thank you. You know, few people have been fighting Hollywood as long as Lloyd Kaufman has.
And even fewer can actually make it funny.
True.
Yeah. Stay tuned. Attack of the Show special Hollywood edition continues right after this.
Attack of the Show, baby. Attack.
That's all for tonight, folks.
Yeah, don't forget our live E3 coverage begins May 9th. We're going to come at you live for 3 hours from the show floor with hands-on demos and first-look previews of all the games you're going to want.
Visit G4TV.com for up-to-the-second info. Meanwhile, I'm Olivia Munn.
Oh, nice. I'm Kevin Pereira. Night, everybody.
Good night.
Computers on Attack of the Show provided by Intel. Someone's got to lose. Make sure it's not you. Play to win with Intel dual-core technology.